Welcome back. Around. Before we start, I'd like to just make a comment. I understand that this may be a bit confusing, that it's easier to think of prepositions as arrows. This is easier. And this second unit takes more effort, needs more effort from your part. As everything in language or anything in life, this is a question of practice. But I would recommend from now on, by the way, that we will see in the next chapter. From now on, I would recommend every time you come across a phrasal verb, when you are reading something, when you are watching a series or watching a video, try to stop and try to think of the logic behind this phrasal verb. Okay? Keep your eyes open and try to work out another phrasal verb that we will do in the next few chapters. Try to work out the logic behind this phrasal verb. Does the preposition refer to a movement, or does the preposition refer to a secondary meaning, as we are doing here? So, around. I won't tell you again. Stop playing around. One thing is to play. There is no problem with children playing. What's the problem with children playing? Children should play. But stop playing around. Okay? So you think around is negative. In this context, yes, but in number 2 it isn't, for example. We just walked around and enjoyed the city. This isn't a negative aspect, so it's not necessarily negative. When I arrived, they were just sitting around. They were just sitting around. Okay? What's the problem with sitting? No problem with sitting. But they were just sitting around. There's a gang of kids hanging around outside on the street. Again, a negative sensation. Okay? Not necessarily negative, but in many cases it is. So what could it be? Number 5. Come around or pop around if you're visiting the area someday. So what's the answer? Stop the video if you haven't thought of it yet. Okay. Around means that there is no specific reason for something. You are not doing something specific directly. It is around. So there is a sense of senselessness, that there is no real reason for something. So if you are playing Monopoly, you are playing football, there is a purpose to this. You are doing something specifically. Playing around is when you are just being silly. You aren't doing anything particular. You aren't playing football, you aren't playing Monopoly, you're just being silly. You're running around the house, you're shouting, you're playing around. Stop playing around. Do something with a reason, even if it is playing a game. But number 2 is not negative in this sense. What did you do when you went to Paris? Well, the first day we went into the hotel and there wasn't much time to do any sightseeing, so we just walked around. What does this mean? This means that we didn't go to the Eiffel Tower, we didn't go to the Champs-Élysées, we didn't go anywhere specific. We just walked around to see what there was. You see? There is no specific purpose in mind. When I arrived, they were just sitting around. In this context, the word of sitting, of actually sitting, the same as playing, is secondary. The fact is that they weren't doing anything. This can be the same of maybe builders in a building site, that they weren't working, they were just sitting around. But it could also be in an office. And in an office, people are sitting. They are sitting and working. But it doesn't say that they were sitting and working. It says that they are just sitting around. That means that they are not working. They are just sitting around. They aren't doing anything. There is no purpose to what they are doing. Okay? Good. There's a gang of kids hanging around outside on the street. I'm sure you know what I mean. What are they doing? Are they playing football? Are they walking? Are they doing sport? What are they doing? They're not doing anything. They're just hanging around, hanging around. They've got nothing to do. They're just spending time together, but in a way that for me seems senseless, for me seems negative in this case, because there is no real purpose to what they are doing. But number 5 again is not negative. Not negative. Come around, pop around if you're visiting the area. Come to my place, but not in a structured, formal way. I'm not saying to you, come this Saturday, come and visit this Saturday at 5 o'clock. No, pop around, pop around. So very informal, very relaxed, and without any specific time and place. So this is the meaning of around. In the next chapter, we will talk about on.